We should be live now. Hopefully, if everything is working. There wasn't any sound, Heather, no, but there should be now. Yeah, I was just setting up a few last minute things, so I had the mic muted. So hopefully you should be able to see and hear me okay. It's kind of complicated for me at the moment because, as you can see, Studio Cat has joined us, which means I've got to do one-handed typing. Heather's got no sound. Everybody else has got sound. Now Heather can too. Yeah, excellent. Great stuff. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. You all right? Oh, he's going to leave us. He's gone camera shy. Yeah, I know. All right. There you go, big lad. Welcome to the February 2020 webinar. And today is perhaps going to be a little bit different than usual because you might have to bear with me a little bit today because some of the stuff that I'm going to show you today I'll be doing pretty much for the first or second time. So the topic for today is linking up Instagram and Facebook. Now this has been, excuse me just a second, something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I didn't actually realize it's been out for about 6 months, but I didn't realize that you could do it. And you can do it from within Facebook. But there are a few things that complicate it a little bit for us, make it just a little bit awkward. But what I'm going to do, what I'm going to take you through today is firstly how you can hook up your Facebook account to your Instagram account and see the statistics from both within Facebook, which is really, really handy. And also how you can create posts within Facebook on Instagram. And they get sent from Facebook to Instagram, and you can have them appear on Facebook as well. 2 seconds, I'm just going to have to let Studio Cat out. All right, big lad. And the really nice thing about this, I've been playing around a little bit with it this week. The really nice thing about it is that you can schedule the posts. And it's very flexible, so you can have them appear instantly on Instagram and schedule them on Facebook, schedule on both, or have it appear instantly on Facebook and schedule on Instagram. I can't think of a reason why you'd ever want to do that, but that's what happened to my first one. I didn't get it quite right. So I ended up, it went up immediately on Facebook, and then about 6 hours later it appeared on Instagram, which wasn't quite what the desired result. Yeah, Heather says, I think I'm a minute or two behind. The reason for that is the video lags behind the chat. The chat is basically instant, but for the video, because I have to, the video file needs to, the stream needs to be sent up to YouTube, and YouTube then needs to convert it and then send it out to you. There's usually a delay. It varies, but generally speaking, it's about 10 seconds. So you can count it from now. So I've just typed from now in the chat, and you will hear me say this a little bit later, probably in a few seconds you'll hear me say that. So that just illustrates, it means that sometimes things happen a lot faster in the chat than I can react to them on the video. I'm reacting to them in real time, but there's a little bit of a delay, okay? So I'm going to be doing a bunch of screen sharing today. And a little bit of flying by the seat of my pants. I thought this was so exciting. I really wanted to share it with you straight away, especially given that we're doing some Instagram stuff at the moment. So I thought that would be interesting to look through to see what's happening. So if you remember at the group call last week, at the end of January, I had to put my hand in the air and own up to the fact that I actually hadn't done anything on Instagram in a whole month, even though we've just kicked off our Instagram project for this year, right? I'd completely forgotten to do it. So I talked a little bit about habit creation and methods that I use if I want to create a habit. A minute. Wow, that's a long time. I'm not sure why it's so long. Do it again. Okay. From now. I've just typed it again just now. So you can see how long it takes for it to come. Are you counting? I can imagine you sitting there, Heather, going 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Okay, we'll see. But it's always like that. There is always the delay. Okay. A minute behind. Yeah, it's just the way it goes. Sometimes I think there's more or less of a lag. It just depends. Okay, so habit creation. What I did was, I'm a big fan of two things to help get habits in place. These are the two most useful things I've found. The first one is to attach it to a habit you already got. So I've attached my Instagram to the end of my doing my account. So I'm a kind of a routine-led person. In the mornings, I write, like a morning pages thing, you know, from The Artist's Way, a little bit like that. Then I do my accounts because I'm really disorganized, and otherwise I would do them once a year. So I do them every day, and it takes me 5 minutes, and there's no panic involved, and I always know where I am. So I've just got into 30 seconds, right? So I've got into a habit with that. So I've attached my Instagram habit to the end of my accounts. So I start thinking about and preparing the Instagram thing that I'm going to do that day immediately, and then it's at the front of my mind. The other thing that I've done is a visual reminder. I think visual reminders are very good. Like my visual reminder for my writing is that I always have my journal and my pen ready at my desk. So the first thing I do when I come in here in the morning with a cup of coffee is I sit down and there's my journal and my pen. So I almost never fail to write. So my visual reminder for doing some Instagram stuff is I've set Instagram to be my homepage on my browser. So as soon as I lift up my laptop lid and the laptop powers up, Chrome boots up, it auto starts, and it starts with the Instagram page. I'm like, I need to Instagram today. And immediately I start thinking about it. And it's worked pretty well. So for about the last week, I think I put up a post every day. And at first, the first 2-3 days, it didn't seem like anything was really happening. But interestingly, I've started to have a few results now. So perhaps the best thing for me to do is to show you a couple of Instagram-y things that I've been doing. So let me just pop quickly into a screen share. Hopefully you can still hear me okay. You should be able to, I think. So this is my Instagram account. So basically, 5 posts, so perhaps not quite every day. But I've been sticking up just the stuff that I've got going on in the studio, you know. I'm just taking photos of whatever I'm working on. And I've also, I've made my first story and figured out how to save the story. So you can save stories onto what they call a highlight. There's not much to this. It's quite a basic thing, you know. But it's the first story that I've ever done, and apparently has been seen by 150 odd people or something like that. And so that's quite nice. But in order to get that, you have to convert your Instagram account to a business one. It's a single click. It's in the settings somewhere in here, I believe. I can't remember where it is. But if you can Google it online if you need to find out how to convert your Instagram account to a business one. And basically it's exactly the same. It's just that they now call it a business one. It doesn't charge you anything, but you get this facility. So this is just a test really, just to see what happens. And over time, hopefully, I'll start to produce some better content in here, and I'll start to stick more of these stories up here. I think you can have videos up here as well. And if I can multiply the number of followers I have by a factor of 10, get to 10,000, then I can start putting links in the stories, which will be really nice. So that's my goal for this year. But interestingly, I've gone up by, in the last couple of days, I've gone up by quite a few followers. I'm not sure exactly how many, because I've also forgotten where the Instagram stats are now. It does, somewhere in here it shows me what my stats are, and I can't remember what they are. But I'm going to pop back over to Facebook now. Let me just check you can see this okay. Is that all right? Hi, Cindy. No problem being late. More likely to count elephants. 1 elephant, 2 elephant. Yeah. So here's Facebook, okay? Here I am on my in the Threads community, where I spend all of my time on Facebook, obviously. Now, the catch is, as well as having to turn your Instagram account into a business account, in order to do this, in order to hook up Facebook and Instagram, you also have to have a Facebook page. You can't connect your ordinary personal Facebook profile to Instagram. You can't do it. Now, I created this page a very, very long time ago, thinking that it would be a useful thing, and you've got to have a Facebook page when you're a professional and all this kind of stuff. And I've done absolutely nothing with it for quite a long time, until the last week when I've started using it, because now finally I've realized that there is a reason to have a Facebook page, apart from advertising, which I would never do, paid advertising. And the reason is this: it's because you can hook it up with Instagram. Now, so first you have to create a page. I'm not going to go through that at all, partly because it's so long since I did it, I can't remember how you do it. But I strongly recommend you do this just for the ease of use of being able to post to Instagram and Facebook and schedule your posts instantaneously and also get insights on them. And it's the insights that I'm really interested in for us as people who are trying to build our audiences online. That bit is just fantastic. So once you've got your page set up, I would go into, there'll be helper articles on Facebook how to do it, or you can Google it. Probably Googling it would be the best thing, and it will show you how to set up a Facebook page. It doesn't need to be brilliant, it just needs to be there, okay? I started this up ages ago, haven't put anything on it for ages. I think I put about 2 or 3 posts on. I started adding a couple of my videos and stuff like that. Just basically copying them over. Sorry, I'm afraid this works very slowly when I'm streaming at the same time. The streaming seems to take up all of my bandwidth. So it's going rather slowly. But Facebook tends to be a little bit slow anyway. So here's these last 2 posts. They went up on Instagram, but I created them in Facebook. This is from quite a long time ago. This is when I was practicing doing streams for the first time. 2 years ago, in fact, 2.5 years ago almost. So the bit that you need in here is you need to go into Publishing Tools. Once you've got your page set up, go away Facebook, and then it's this, Creator Studio. And I've only just found out that this is in here. But it basically does everything that we need in order to be able to track what's happening on Instagram much, much better than we can at the moment. Gonna have to wait a second or 2 for it to load up. Okay, so this is what you see when you get in there. Now the interesting thing is that there's some stats here, you know, and actually I picked up 2, my page has 6 more followers, which is quite nice, you know. So you see up here you've got Facebook and then you've got Instagram. I'll go into the Instagram thing in a minute. Now what I'm going to do before I do anything else, once you've set up your page, you will just get this. But what you have to do is you have to connect this Creator Studio to your Instagram account. Now, I found that to be extremely difficult and flaky, but I'm going to stick. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Hang on. Where was I? I'm going to stick this URL. Sorry, got a bit confused there. I've been using a Windows laptop for a while and I'm forgetting which key is the right one. Hello Tammy, nice to see you. Right, that page there will tell you how to link up the 2 accounts. It took me about 4 or 5 goes to actually figure it out. It's by no means simple, but it is actually very useful. So it does work eventually, but I just had to do it a few times. And once you have them linked, you have both of them here, okay? So this one here, if I'm in the Facebook area, so if I can create a post here, and it will be created in Facebook, okay? Okay, that's fine. Or, you know, I've got some insights here. This is quite useful as well. It only shows you the performance of your page, of course. So you need to remember to, if you're like me and you put stuff on your personal profile, I need to remember to put things over here onto my page. Otherwise, nothing will show. You know, there won't be anything in there at all. But what I do know is that I've picked up 6 new followers to my page, almost one a day. So that's something, you know. It's trying to tell me something here. I don't know what that's all about, and that's fine. You know, it's nice to know this kind of thing, and there's some quite useful stats in here as well. I hate it when they put these little tooltips up. I just want to hunt around and find the stuff, you know. It says here, once more people have viewed or engaged with your videos, you'll be able to see these insights. Okay, so I need to sort that out. I need to stick a few more. But look, once you've got some data in there, I need to stick some more videos up. There's quite a lot that they will show you. But the really interesting bit is when you get into, I think, is when you get into Instagram. Because this shows me, because it's hooked up, it shows me all the stuff that I've posted lately on Instagram. It shows me how many likes they've got and how many comments they've got. Which is kind of pretty amazing, you know, because this is the bit that you really want to know about. If you're putting up stuff and it's not getting any comments at all, then Facebook probably, Instagram probably isn't going to push it. But if you've got stuff that gets a lot of comments, then it will, a lot of engagement, it will appear to Instagram that that's a useful story, and you will reach more of your followers that way. So in terms of the insights, let's see what it shows me here. Choose my Instagram account. Now this is really interesting. Actions taken on my account. Now I was really surprised by this. This is just the last 7 days, and because I put up 5 posts, I've had 75 profile visits, which I think is kind of amazing. This is the one that really interests me here. 6 website visits. I didn't know that it was even possible to track that. But it's true, because if I go over to Google Analytics and I have a look in there, the stats aren't quite the same. So somewhere in here it will say, there's it here, this line here is Instagram. Now isn't that interesting? So I've had, they're saying, Analytics is saying there's been 5 visitors. No one has signed up. This column here is my mailing list. So no one has signed up from Instagram yet, but it's only a matter of time. I've started to get people actually over, because there's more happening on my Instagram feed now. People are actually getting over to my website. So finally, it looks like we can actually see, we can have some kind of tracking on what happens, what we do on Instagram, and how that relates back to what happens on our website, and if we actually get some email sign-ups, because that's the bit we care about. I'm not really very interested in spending an awful lot of time on Instagram building up my followers if no one ever signs up to my website. That's not terribly useful to me, okay? But this is really, really useful stuff. 75 profile visits, almost 10 a day. Really surprised. I've reached 700 accounts. 700 people have seen my stuff in them. And look at that big peak here. And I'm pretty sure this is just because I've been posting more regularly, because the posts were spread across these days, you know. Really, really interesting. And it also tells you a little bit about your audience. And remember, we're still in Facebook here, you know. This I quite like. It tells me, oh, here's the bit about the followers. I'm up 10 from the week before. And considering that my Instagram followers have been static for such a long time, it's actually quite useful that I know that. This is quite useful to know, the old bell curve for age. Now, this is not very surprising because, you know, I'm between these two. I'm 54. This I kind of already knew. There's actually more men than I thought there would be. The one bit that really disappoints me is I would really like to be able to see when my followers are on Instagram, so I know the best time to schedule. Now, so far, this hasn't shown me any data. I don't know why, but it's very annoying. But I do know that most of the people that follow me are in the US. Okay. And of those, most of them live in New York. So that's kind of useful. So I can kind of guess, you know, I mean, a lot more people follow me, almost 3 times as many on the East Coast from the West Coast of America. That's really interesting because it means I can start to think about scheduling my posts a little bit, you know, so that's a really useful thing. Let me have a quick, I'm going to turn the, oh, sorry, wrong screen. I'm going to turn that off just for a second so I can have a quick look at the comments. Facebook owns Instagram. That's absolutely right, Naomi. And that's why you can connect the two of them up. And I have a strong feeling the reason that they've put this Creator Studio has only been there about 6 months. And I have a feeling the reason they've made it is because unless you're paying for advertising on Facebook, you have no need for a page. And obviously they want people to have pages. They want to monetize businesses, you know, or they want to monetize Facebook. So they want businesses to be paying them. And the first step for that is for you to have a page. So if they give you something really useful that people have been crying out for, which is being able to see all your stats in one place and schedule posts to Facebook and Instagram at the same time, if they give you that, but the catch is you have to have a page to get it, then more people are going to make pages, which is exactly what I'm advising you to do. If you want to get into doing some of this stuff, a bit more of the online social media stuff, and be able to track what's happening with it in terms of your website and your email list, then this is the way to go. Get a Facebook page, and then it doesn't mean you've got to run that at the same time as your personal profile. That's a pain. There's no getting around that. But I think it's worth it because it's going to be so useful. I just need to start remembering to copy over everything I put on my personal profile, which is where most people follow me, onto my page as well. I wonder how they count people from tiny towns on the West Coast. I have no idea. I have no idea how that works. I suspect very small areas you would only have a small number of visitors, so it's just showing you the kind of the headlines. And Tammy says, I've struggled with having 2 Facebook profiles, personal and business, to keep up with. I know exactly what you mean, Tammy. Therefore, I seem to only post on my personal page, which I only use for my art anyway. Same here. It bothers me to have to do duplicate posts. Yeah, me too. I feel it's redundant and I feel it's annoying to my followers. I'm curious how you and everyone else feels about that. That's the bit that worries me, is that I'll end up annoying people because I'll start posting things twice. Okay. But I kind of think this is too useful for me to pass up. And I'm going to have to start copying things over to the page as well. And it may be that some people will start following the page that otherwise wouldn't be following me at all. You know, there's a chance that that could happen, so we'll have to see. Naomi says she's had a page for a few years, yeah? I guess yours is like mine, Naomi. Is it you're most active on your personal profile and not so much on your page? And Tammy says also, I seem to get more likes on my personal page versus my business. Me too. I mean, I think for my personal profile, there's about 800 and something people follow me, and I've got about 2,500 friends there. So there's a good chance that a fair proportion of those people are going to see my posts. Whereas on my Facebook page, I've got like, I don't know, I mean, just a handful of followers because I've never done anything with it. So I think this is a transparent and blatant attempt by Facebook to get people more interested in and using pages. I'll just have to wait and see what happens about duplicate posting across 2 places. I mean, at the worst comes to the worst, people can just stop following the page. There's a chance I might lose some followers through it, but I don't think it will happen very much. I very much doubt it. Yes, it's a pain, but there isn't a way around it. And Kay says there's a pastel artist that posts the same thing to 3 Facebook groups, and that becomes annoying as she posts frequently. Yeah, I bet it does. I bet it does become annoying. I guess the thing is, it's like always with this stuff. What you want to be thinking about is how useful is this to my audience? So if I only copy over, I mean, every now and again I put up more general life type posts on my personal Facebook profile. If I only copy over to my page the really useful stuff like the live streams or pictures of paintings, or if I'm talking about some aspect of painting in a post, I won't copy over the auctions, I don't think, because I don't want it to look like I'm spamming people with requests to buy paintings. So my kind of cutoff for how I decide what I'm going to put on both will be how useful is this to people. And if you're posting something that's genuinely useful, hopefully it won't get too irritating. But yes, I would agree. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. So I want to show you, I'm going to take you through creating a post, right? This is the kind of the meat of what I want to show you today. So I'm going to go back onto a screen share quickly. And I want to show you, I'm in the Instagram part, right? It's as easy as this to switch from one to the other. You want to make sure you're in the Instagram part and then do create post, okay? Now I'm working on a painting at the moment. I want it to go to my Instagram feed, so it's not video. Although this is really interesting, I'm going to have to try and do some streaming on Instagram, see if that works too. So I've got a painting that I started today. So I've got a photo of it ready to post. Now I'm inviting people to comment here. This is very deliberate, okay? Because I'm hoping that when this gets sent up to Instagram, that people will start to reply and comment. The downside is it means I have to hang around a little while for that first hour. You know, we were talking about that first hour window when Facebook is kind of, Instagram, sorry, is just testing to see if you get some response or not. And I really want to go swimming, but I'm going to have to wait a little while. So I could schedule it for an hour's time. I'll probably do that actually. I'll schedule it for an hour's time after the webinar finishes, which gives me time, an hour and a half or something, gives me time to go swimming and then come back. So the picture I've actually got up in Photoshop here. This is the bit that I think needs to change around here. I quite like the way the painting is going, but this is wrong. And it took me a while to realize it. I messed about with this a lot. I like the value. I like the fact that it has some chroma, but I think it's just too much and it's distracting. So I want to drop this chroma down. So I've got to wait for this to dry out and do some more on it tomorrow. And I like these shots where you can see some brushes and I've got my Monsoil chips there. Now I want to show you something about this image, is the size. I need to change it because this needs to be 72 pixels per inch and it needs to be 1080 wide and it will be 1350 high. So if you're going to post to Instagram, you want it to be this size, 1080 by 1350, or square, 1080 by 1080. Okay, so I'll save that. I don't need this anymore, so I'll close it down. That's the reference photo from the stream. I don't know if did anyone see the stream I did today? Did a live stream when I was starting that painting off. Anyway, so here I am back in creating my post. So I need to add from a file upload. So this is the bit that I'm still figuring out the best way to do this. So I need to find where is it? Last Apples. Is that the one? Yeah, this is it. And that's the picture that I just saved. Open. And it will pop it in here. Now, do I want to post it to Facebook as well? Yes, I do. I'll stick it on both. I mean, potentially this could be a problem too. I mean, I generally do cross-post across both of them. But if I'm cross-posting about both of those and posting the same thing to my page as well, maybe not so much. And here you can either hit publish and it will go out straight away, or I can schedule it. But what caught me out is you have to schedule it twice. This is you scheduling it for Facebook and this is you scheduling it for Instagram, right? So you've got to do it twice. So I'll schedule it here. And it'll give you the time. I want it to go out today. Now, it usefully gives me Atlantic time, not my own time zone. I'm going to have to check that. I want to know what time it is now in Atlantic time. Atlantic time. I hate these. No, I wanted to be able to type it in. Well, what difference is that? It's 4 hours, right? So that means, for me, it's like 6:30. So that means it's what, 2:30 over there at the moment? Yeah, oh, of course, this is telling me what the time is now. I'm so daft sometimes. So I'm going to set it to go up in 2 hours. So I've got time to finish the webinar, I'll go swimming and then come back and then it should come up, right? And then hopefully if I remember, when it comes up on Instagram, I'll be there in case anybody answers my question and interacts with the post, I'll be there. So we'll schedule it. And I think that's it, you know. I think that's it scheduled. This is tricky though, this. I'm going to schedule for Instagram, same thing. So it's going to go up on both simultaneously, 4:25. Have I done everything right? Let's check I've got everything right. I don't want to add a location. Spell check this. Oh, just as well. Yeah. Schedule. So that should be scheduled, hopefully. We'll schedule it. And you get these little messages here. Your post has been successfully scheduled. No, it's been published to Facebook. It didn't schedule it. Does that mean it's gone live already on? I think that means, I'm not sure actually. Let's check my Facebook. It's so annoying, this stuff. Let's check my Facebook profile just to make sure. I would actually put it on my page, come to think of it. That's today's stream. Yeah, it would put it on my page if it published it immediately. Let's go into posts. God, I've seriously got to update this. I did it so long ago. Yeah, it hasn't put it up. Phew. So it did schedule it. Slightly confusing interface, isn't it though, really? And let's make sure it's not on my Instagram feed yet either. Yeah, it's not there yet. Okay, so that's good. So it's telling me here that it's scheduled. So I'll be able to see the likes and comments in the Instagram part. I wonder if it'll show me in the Facebook thing as well. No, it doesn't show me it here. It doesn't show me it there, which is frustrating. But that's really what I wanted to show you. So that takes you through. I've made a really simple post and I've scheduled it on both of them. So you ought to be able to see this actually go live in about 2 hours from now, if I got the time right. I'm always getting these things wrong, so there's a really good chance that I didn't get the time right, but hopefully that will be right and it will go up live and we'll be able to see it in a little while. And one more thing I want to show you that I've done in terms of, this is ConvertKit, okay? So this is where I manage my email. So this is an email that I sent out yesterday about a new painting. If I go back into my personal one, it makes your brain ache sometimes, this stuff, just trying to keep up with it all. It's this painting here. So I put it up for auction, okay. So this is, you'll have MailChimp or whatever it is that you use. So let's have a look at the content because I want to show you what I've recently added. I've built a basic template. I've never normally used templates, but I used one here. And what I've added is at the bottom is this. I was tempted just to put this, just to put the Instagram one and not the Facebook one. But I've never had this before. So now I'm inviting people to follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. So I wonder if some of those new followers that I've picked up, because remember that they were towards the end of the graph, there was a little peak of those 10 followers that I picked up this week. And I wonder if it's because of this, you know. So what I've done is these links in the email, I've tagged them. So if I go into, let's see, I've got to be a bit careful here because I want to make sure that I don't show any email addresses. So I've got to be a little bit careful about what how much I can show on the screen. I might have to go off the screen share for a minute while I find the relevant bit. As an interesting aside, look what happens. This is unsubscribes and this is subscribers. So I get a steady stream of subscribers. Look what happens. This is when I send an email out. Look how many I lose. That's pretty standard, you know. I'm just going to turn the screen share off just for a minute Sorry, I just need to make sure that I don't share anybody's email addresses, because it actually shows me email addresses here, and I want to be showing just the tags. What's the best way for me to do that? Yeah, here we go. I'll be back in just a second. I just need to open up these, because if I show it shows people's email addresses here, and if I show them on the screen, then obviously that's not going to be a good thing. I don't want to be doing that. I'm just waiting for the pages to load. Hopefully it won't show me email addresses here. It's actually saying that I've got a few from both, which is useful to know. Right, yeah, good. It's not showing the email addresses, so I can go back onto the screen share again. Okay, so this one, oh, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to have to edit that out. This one is FB follow. This means 5 people have clicked on that link to my FB profile. And for the Instagram one, I've had 5 people. Is that the Instagram one? IG follow. Yeah, so what I've done is, you can do this in MailChimp. You can do this in all email software as far as I'm aware, is you can tag a link. And if someone clicks on that link in an email, then it registers in the email software. So I've had 5 people click on the link. It doesn't mean that they're followers. It means that 5 people have clicked on it. That's not that great, considering that email went out to about 10,000 people and the open rate was about 27%. So about 2,500 people opened the email and only 5 clicked through. So if I really want to get more people from my email list over to my Instagram, I'm not sure if that's really a useful thing to do, but I desperately want to get to enough followers on Instagram so I can put links in my stories. That's what I want. So it would be useful from that point of view. Then I should probably create something specifically for Instagram, host it and do it there, a free thing, and then tell people that they need to follow me on Instagram in order to get it, okay, in order to get access to it. Let me have a quick look at the comments. Yeah, Naomi, if you can't find Creator Studio, you need to go into publishing, go into your page and go into publishing tools, and it's in there. Okay. Naomi says she rarely posts her paintings on her personal page. Yeah, I can get that. It's where I contact most of the people that follow me on Facebook though, so. Yeah, Cindy says she uses Facebook for personal and Instagram for art. Yeah, it's very useful to be able to use them for both, I think. The schedule was for the 6th. Oh, was it? Oh, I might check that again then. See if I can edit the schedule, because I want it to go out today. Tammy, thank you for your eagle eyes. I'll have a quick look. Ah, you found it. You linked them. Naomi, that's amazing. It took me about half a day to do that. Yeah, I'll show you again how to find it. Okay, so if you're I've got to figure out how to get back out of it first, of course. I don't want to log out. Let's go back from here. So you go into your page, and then here is, you should have this link, Publishing Tools. And then down here on the left, under Tools, is Creator Studio. And all the stuff is in there. And once you've got them hooked up, then you can just flip at the top here between Facebook and Instagram. So I'm using it specifically for Instagram stuff at the moment. That's what I'm most interested in doing. So actually, while I'm here, let me check that. I think you're right. You know, I think I might have scheduled it for tomorrow. Yeah, for the 6th, scheduled. Can I edit it? Edit post. Save and schedule. No, I want it for today. Scheduled posts need to be shared between 10 minutes and 6 months from when you create them. So I must have that wrong then. I'm really confused now. Surely it's not that time at the moment. It wasn't 2:25 a.m. No, it must be p.m. So could I make that 4:25 p.m. and would that be all right? Apparently not. Why won't it let me do it? Is that all right or not? Scheduled posts need to be shared between 10 minutes and 6 months from when you create them. That's all right though, isn't it? Don't you think that's all right? Can anyone help me out with this? Ah, Tammy's found it too, great. I think that is the time that you want to post it. Yeah, that's what I think too, Tammy. That's the time I want to post this thing. Let's close that one down. I don't want two up at the same time. But why? I mean, surely that it's not that time yet, is it? Or am I being really silly here? So I want it to go up from 2 hours from now, and I'm about, is it 5 hours ahead of you? Or 5 hours ahead of Atlantic time? 4 hours ahead. So that would mean that would go up at 8:25. Why won't that work? What about if I make that 5? I don't know why that won't work. 5:25 p.m. I'm going to try it with that. I mean, that should work, right? Will it let me do it? It won't let me do it. That's so annoying. Why won't it let me? Let's try putting something like 10 p.m. Oh, it let me do that. Will it let me do 6? No. 7? That's got to be almost immediate though, surely. But to me, that's like, you know what? I'm going to do it for 6. No, 7. I'm going to do it for 8. I'm going to do it for 8:25 and just see what happens. I honestly don't understand that, and it makes no sense to me at all. But the problem is, of course, that I didn't get the opportunity to schedule it in Facebook. And apparently, it's not here. I can't find it in the... Ah, here we go. So I can schedule it again here. Let's try and do it again. Will it let me schedule it? Edit post. No. I can't change the scheduling, so it's not going to go up on Facebook until tomorrow, which is really frustrating. Reschedule. Ah. I don't, you might understand this better than me. I don't get this at all. I have no idea when these are, at least they're going to go live at the same time now. I've just no idea when. It's 1:43 on the East Coast, 10:43 on the West Coast. So it was giving me Atlantic time, right? And that's the East Coast, is that right? Where I am, it's now 6:45. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. I'm going to have to do... I told you this was going to be live and I was going to be figuring it out as I go. Now you know I meant it, okay? So that's what I wanted to take you through today. I think it's extremely powerful. I've been wanting a way to do that for a long time. And being as we've got our Instagram project on the go at the moment, it means that we can schedule posts to appear on Facebook and Instagram just from within Facebook without having to use any third-party apps at all, which is great because it means you've got less stuff cluttering up your PC and your mind. And also we get stats all in one place from the Facebook and the Instagram stuff. And I can see in there how many people have clicked through to my website, which I love to bits. And then when I get over to analytics, now I've seen those people come through there. I can also see if any of them have signed up to my email list. That's the really useful thing. That's the needle that I want to move, from no one signing up to my email list from Instagram to eventually seeing, hopefully by the end of the year, quite a few people joining. That's what I'm interested in happening. And now we have a way to track it, as well as a much easier way to post, okay? Everyone's trying to work out the time thing. I don't know. I mean, I find this stuff so difficult. I mean, for me, it's 7:15 in the evening now. You know, haven't had my dinner yet and I'm hungry and tired. I've been painting all day. But this is when I need to do these streams, because as you saw, it's the same across the board. Most of the people that follow me are in the US. So I have to do these things in what is my evening time, when most people will be around. If I did it like when I started my stream, my live stream this morning when I was painting, I started at 10:30 in the morning, my time. It's the middle of the night for you over there, if you're in the US. So it all gets a little bit complicated. But I hope that was useful anyway, and you learned something from it. I would strongly encourage you to set up a page, switch your Instagram account to a business one. None of this costs you anything to do, and have a little play. That's the best thing to do. The worst thing that can happen is that you put up a post that nonpluses people because it doesn't make any sense, you know. But I am going to have something to eat quickly, then I'm going to go swimming. So don't worry, I'm going to have a very small amount to eat, just some steamed veg. Then I'm going to swim, and hopefully by the time I get back, I'm going to look again at the time thing. Hopefully that was just Facebook and being weird, and that my post should be going live at some point before I go to bed, and I'll be around to reply, because I have a feeling that it makes an awful lot of difference if you, when Instagram puts your post live, if you start to get engagements, I think you need to be on it and you need to be replying. And I think that is a mark in favor of the post for engagements, and then it's more likely to get out to more people. Okay. So it's going on UK time. Do you think so? I don't know. Is that what Atlantic means? We'll find out. I will update you in the Threads group when it finally does go live. Some of you probably follow me on Instagram anyway, or on Facebook, so you'll see it anyway when it goes up. It's a bit of a mind bender, this stuff sometimes, but hopefully that was useful, and you know, have a go. Post in the Facebook group with what you find if you have a go with this. I'll post some of my results in there too. And we'll see where we go. Next week, there is nothing. In fact, I'm having a wisdom tooth out, which they tried to take out a week or two back, and they couldn't get it out. So I'm going to try again. Not looking forward to that. The week after that, on Wednesday, we will have our very first properly organised Threads paint-along session. So I'm going to send out a materials list and a reference photo. And I'm gonna explain some stuff about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it as we paint through. It's a little test. A few people have requested it, and I think it could turn out to be a really good way to get some information across. Okay, so thanks very much for joining, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.